Hi, Debbie here, and this is just a quick little video to show you what I've been working on. These are some felt Christmas ornaments that I've been working on. They're little partridges, and let me zoom out just a little bit and I'll show you what they look like. If I press the right button, we'll be good. I just don't want to go too far out. Here we go. And this is the little one. And like I said, they're made out of felt, and they're stuffed with polyfill and blanket stitch. You close it up, and I got a little feather here, a little hanger. It's going to hang like this, and it's double-sided, so you can do either side. So there's this little teeny one, and then this is a bigger one. Now I've done this in fabric. This is the first time I've ever done it in felt, and I really like the fabric better. Or it could be just this felt that I'm using, because this felt almost feels like almost like paper to me, which you could actually do these in paper. But yeah, so it's this one, and it looks like this on this side, and then a hanger. So that's what they look like. Mommy and her baby. Move that up a little bit so you can see. There is a little tutorial right after this if you want to see how I put this together. And also, if you're interested, I am going to be, I can also send you the pattern if you'd like to do it yourself, and that information is in the video. So I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the tutorial if you're interested, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Bye for now. Okay, so I have all my pieces cut out from the pattern, and the next step after cutting, well, they say, the pattern says cut 2, so I've cut everything that I'm supposed to do. 2 of the bird, the big bird, the little bird, the feathers, and the flowers and things like that. So the next step after you cut out the 2 for the bird is you need to attach your wing. And it does have a place on the pattern where your wing is attached, and I just need to make a mark, find out where that is, and I'm going to attach it like this. Of course, I have both of them here, but I just need the one, because I'm going to do mine double-sided. I'm going to have them both sides. You can do one or you can do both. I chose to do both, and I will attach this here. And the way I'm going to attach it, well, first I have a double-sided interfacing, so that's just going to get ironed on so it doesn't move, and it's going to stay just like that. And then I'm just going to go around it with the blanket stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on both sides, and I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, well, all my stitching, blanket stitching for the wings are complete with both sides of the partridge. So I've done that. Now I'm using felt and fabric. You can use all fabric. You can use all felt. You don't even have to use a blanket stitch. You can go to your machine. You can use straight stitch. You can do a really pretty decorative stitch with your machine, or you can just do a straight stitch with your hand. I mean, I'm just doing the blanket stitch. You can use whatever stitching that you like, and you can use whatever fabric you like. I just happen to have a lot of felt. I thought I'd try these with felt. A couple of years ago I did mine totally with fabric, so either way it's going to work. And this really isn't keeping this wing on, because I did use double-sided interfacing, so it's actually stuck on with the interfacing, but I went ahead and did the blanket stitch anyway, just to give it that little handmade look. And so the next thing that needs to be done on these wings have like a little flower arrangement right about here. And they're just put on with a button. So I have already cut out my little leaf that's going to go here. And I know cutting this little guy out on felt was really a challenge. That was a challenge. And then I put my little leaf here and the little flower. And then I just picked a button, which I don't have very many buttons left because I did a destash a while back, and I destashed all my buttons, and now I need them and I don't have them. Well, anyway, I found one that would work, and I'm just going to sew that on, and that just stays on with just sewing the button on. The button holds this in place. So I'm going to do one for the large one, and then I'm going to do one for the small one. Now the small one I am going to cut this leaf down because as you can see it is really too big for that little teeny wing. So I will cut that down, and I do have the little flower, and I did find a little teeny tiny button to go in there. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, well I got the buttons on, and I had to switch them out because I needed two of the same for each, for one for each side, and I didn't have that many, so I had to switch them out, and this is how it turned out. So I just did this one for the large bird, and then I did this one for the little bird. And in the instructions, the next thing we need to do is put on the little plume on the top of the head, and I found these little feathers in my little feather bag, and it just goes right on the top of the head like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to glue these on with the Beacon Fabri-Tac for now, because I do have to go around and sew the two sides together when I stuff it. But anyway, this is what I've got picked out for the top, and then I also need to attach the hanger before we close it up and stuff it. And I just have this little ribbon here, this little trim, and I am just going to attach that inside before we close it up, because the instructions on the pattern tell you where to put the bloom and where to put the hanger. And I'm just going to put those on with the Fabri-Tac, and then I'll let you see how it turns out. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. I have the little feather glued on and the hanger to the little one and the bigger one. So this is what. So the next thing is to put the two pieces together, and I'm going to go around them with a blanket stitch and leave a little opening so I can stuff it. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that to the two little partridges, put them together, go around with the blanket stitch, stuff them, and then I'll let you see what they look like. And this is what they look like, all sewn and stuffed. I just used polyfill to fill them, and this is what they look like. And then they just hang. The hardest part was going to blanket stitch around these feathers. I had a hard time with that. I can't remember how I did it last time. The little teeny one, I just ended up going a little bit of straight stitching because I just couldn't figure out how to do that. Well, anyway, this is what they look like. So, if any of you would like to make these yourself, I do have the pattern that if you email me your address, I can just make a copy of this and send it off to you so that you can make some of these too. So this is what they look like. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.